It's February 10th, and I'm doing my fourth video in a row here. Huge accomplishments. I want to update you to the account, and then after that I want to talk about inflation, China, market scare, all that. We're going to look at some statistics and show you some of my moves. Alright, let's go into the account. Oh, there we go, it showed up. So it's a little bit zoomed out, so if you're on the phone, sorry about that. Maybe you can zoom in the video if you want to see the numbers. Or watch it on your desktop. I'll just go through it real quick so we don't spend a lot of time on this. These are my positions. You can feel free to pause the video player at any moment. This is all the information you might need about my exact positions. These are the equity positions. Pretty big beating today. A lot of -4%, -2%, -1.5%. So the markets are basically scared about the inflation prints. Apparently, this is my account tab. Margin is 71,000, 27% the account right now. Yesterday the account was in a little bit of a better health, considering I topped out at almost 200,000, almost took out that record intraday, and the record all time so far is that $201,000 print. So, oops, clicked the wrong button. That's cool. Inflation, right? So inflation's hot, 7.5%, and it just seems to me like a little bit of a lag there going on between the Chinese economy and the U.S. economy. And what I mean by that is, like, inflation-wise, in 2020, China's economy was absolutely cracked, right? It had the entire world wanting stuff from China. The figures were absolutely phenomenal. I think they set all kinds of like total export records in crazy numbers. And this year, of course, they slowed down quite a bit. One thing they don't have, though, is an inflation problem. So first, let's go to the stock market here and to show you today's action. This is the total stock market. Is what you're looking at. This is the world market here, broken up by countries. So, and this is just for the day. Let's take a look at the last week. Last week, pretty positive. This is international, right? Looks like Israel was doing pretty well. China was doing really well. Let's see the US S&P 500 for the last week. Pretty mixed bag. It's just Amazon just skyrocketing because, they beat their earnings expectations and whatnot. Everything else, I think we're in a position, in a period right now where people are starting to separate the winners from the losers when it comes to the last, like, post virus problems period. And they're seeing, okay, who can really grow through this environment? Who can put up some numbers? And it's time to kind of be a weighing machine rather than a betting machine. It's time for the market to be a weighing machine. And so things are getting weeded out, Even though I'm investing in PayPal right now, I'm playing some options on PayPal. They have, unfortunately, missed some expectations. People are doubting whether they can grow from here, and they even lowered their earnings expectations. And a lot of the little growth companies have just completely crashed. A lot of the Spotify's, Etsy's, and Pelotons of the world, and they're not putting up numbers, and people are like, okay, well, it's time for you to go because rates are coming up, and we need something competitive, and the growth guessing period is kind of over. And I think that's what's happening. A lot of the companies are in the green, a lot of the companies are in the red. One interesting thing that I really want to share with you, though, is China inflation data. Okay, so the Chinese inflation data looks like this. You can see how in January 2020 they were actually coming off of that 2019 period, and they're just absolutely super hot. 5.4% in January, 5.2% in February, and then it started to drastically come down. And if you take a look at this, it kind of mimics the stock market crash in the Chinese equities, except this bottoming period. But what people are going to find out in these last, I think this is my guess here, going to find out in this earnings period that's coming out right now. Alibaba earnings are coming out, and all the other retailers, post companies. If you look at the inflation data, it's actually had a little bit of a rebound, and I'm guessing that's probably driven by retail. And so if I were a betting man, which I am, it even went up all the way to 2.3% in November. I would say that the Chinese economy is actually rebounding and not continuing to grind to a halt, like what it looked like in November. I'm sorry. This is the stock market crash in question here. Not this one. Excuse me. So, it started over here, then May, June, August, and here's the rebound in inflation. But 2%, 2.3%, and now 1.5% in December, probably even less in January. My point is China's not really having an inflation problem. And if inflation really is a drag on the stock market, judging by this isolated economy here, it shouldn't be for China. Now, I understand that the economies are different, they have different strengths, they're based on different levels of debt from different places in the world, so the dynamics, inflation may not play the same exact way in China, but you can take that into consideration that they just don't have that issue happening right now. We're at 7.5. That means we're hotter right now than China was with its inflation in, January 2020. Pretty crazy. So anyway, I just want to share that. I thought that was really interesting. Let's take a look at some statistics while we're here, yeah? So monthly consumer price index in China by region. Okay. See what we can do. Alright, that's pretty crazy. I don't even know. Okay, so this is live, alright? I haven't actually looked at these before. Monthly inflation rate, okay. This is yearly. Oh, okay, this is the IMF guess. I looked at this graph earlier of where it was and where it's going to be. So 2019, 2.9, 2020, 2.39, 2021 is only 1% inflation, but they're expecting a rebound up to 1.82 in 2022. So who knows if that's going to happen. But I'm in line. I think there's going to be a rebound. I doubt that Chinese authorities are going to let it happen and let inflation go into deflation mode. So I think it's going to be some stabilizing procedures. In other news recently, I think this may be false data, but I read some news reports that China's thinking about putting a floor under the market. I think that they actually mean literally buying shares from the marketplace and supporting the price, not just by adjusting interest rate, which is actually old news. They're really trying to stop the bleeding now from the damage that they've done to their own market economy throughout the year. So they are actually looking at the markets. They deflated the bubble and now they're looking to stabilize things. I don't know how successful. We probably will be successful. However, it looks like today at least the American markets are continuing to punish some of those names that actually got a bid on that news just a couple of days ago and yesterday. Alright, I think I'm gonna end it right here. It's been real, it's been fun. I'm making money, but not today, right? Today, actually, I'm down $7,500. Not fun. But overall, combining yesterday and today, I'm up like 2.5. I'm not gonna complain too much. It's gonna be interesting tomorrow with the options to see whether I'm gonna end up with an extra 100 shares of PayPal, or I'm gonna end up with some cash in the pocket. It's gonna be interesting. I can't wait to make some more decisions tomorrow and on Monday. All right, I'm gonna end right here. Peace out.